Hey guys, Lurkin here from Mobilytics. So, when I made my speed farm build with Teleport and Fireball Enchant, I got a lot of comments saying that, oh, this is great, but I don't have all the Ubers. Thanks for making a build that only used Ubers. So I'm running the build with Arc Lash, and the kicker is there's no Ubers, and another kicker, I'm not even going to run an offhand. I'm going to operate at half damage with no Ubers, no nothing, and I'm just going to rip it. Let's get into a Vault of Ink. Now we're going to do Cinders. Drifting Shade. Armor Breakers. We got 10,000 armor because we have 2 armor rolls and an armor potion right now. So let's get into it. I'll catch you guys. Never doubt my builds. They're strong. Ooh, yeah, I think at half damage, sometimes, it got a little dicey with the unstops and almost lost the 1v1 there, but just think about it. The second you put the focus back on, that's going to be twice as strong. So never doubt, never doubt. Have a good one, guys. So we did it with Arc Lash, and then somebody may have said, oh, well, what about the builds that use Starless Skies? All right, well, I'll take one of the worst ones. Chain Lightning. Not good damage. So as you can see, we have an ever-living helmet. We're going to operate at 8600 armor. Let's choose an armor potion. So we just have a ever-living helmet, raiment. I have some elementalist gloves to buff up that crit chance. With the ranks Fireball, ranks Chain Lightning. Got Tibalt's Will, Flicker Steps. And then we just have a Dagger with double crit into all stats. This is where my offhand would go if I was using it. So we are at half damage. I have a control ring. I got Tail Rasha. And I have a Storm Swell amulet. As you can see on my construct, just regular run-of-the-mill flash of adrenaline. Tempest with breaking in case I run into a butcher, safeguard for DR and resource to keep me topped off so that I can keep elementalist, and then enchants, fireball, and teleport. Hope you enjoy. So there we have it. Wasn't the prettiest thing, but I think what I like about, so when I make a build, I'll often do this. It's to where I'll strip away everything that makes the build good, and I'll run it at half damage, mainly to see where the inefficiencies are. And as we saw in this, when it's dense and you're nuking enemies and you have the fireball chain reacting, it's really good. But then as you saw, when it was like one or two big elites and I wasn't having any chain reacting or anything and they went unstoppable, the build did suffer. And that's obviously going to happen when you spec into control, you have the control glyph, uh, and just operating at half damage really lets you see where the inefficiencies are in the build and like where the strengths are. So that's something I always try and do when I make a build. I started doing this in like season 1 just to sort of limit test that I did it in season 2 with Ball Lightning, like stripping it down to nothing just to see just how strong it was. But what the cool thing is once you do get all the bells and whistles, or you even just put on your offhand and double your damage, those issues go away because the build at base is like fundamentally strong. The board's strong, the gear's strong. I wasn't having too many DR issues. I was at 8700 armor, but as long as you can keep the teleports going, your DR is fine and you have the charge bolts hitting enemies. I only ever had like dicey situations with the DR is when I was unable to kill like one or two elite unstops just because I stripped away all the damage of the build. But I hope this just goes to show that like you don't need Ubers to complete T100s or hard content in this game. You can make a good build, take away all the Ubers, take away half your damage, and you can still complete it in a relatively timely manner. But yeah, so I think that's good. I got a basic skill in there, and I got one of the weaker uh, core skills, one of the weaker sorcerer skills. Chain Lightning's notoriously doesn't have good bust damage, doesn't have good single target, but and then I think we saw that especially at half damage when we were ripping into some unstoppables and none of our damage multis were going. But thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll put a link for the Arc Lash build and the Chain Lightning build in the description. And for Mobalytics, the base builds of these that like aren't the speed farm versions are there in the tier list. This Chain Lightning Palpatine and Arc Lash Slasher. Those are like the base builds, and then I think variants are coming soon, so I'll put the speed farm variants in there because I have them right now. The speed farm variants are a mix of like max roll builds, where I did them first, and then some of them I've done in the Mobalytics. So have a good one, guys.